morning, everybody. Things you should know this week. The special offering today is going to be for Good Samaritan Pharmacy and Health Services. So today's plate goes to Good Samaritan Pharmacy and Health Services. Remember to look at the back of your bulletin for a schedule of upcoming events and activities. If you will be here this summer and or fall, remember to fill out the Summer Activities Survey and Hurricane Assessment Survey. They're on the homepage of the website. We are having a meeting after the service next week to talk about activities for the summer. So if you're going to be here in the summer, come to the meeting and talk with us. And then, has anyone seen Steve Leapley?
He's just back here. I'll get him. You're on.
I'm going to turn the mic over for just a minute to our esteemed board president, Mr. Leapley.
Actually, mixed signals. Anybody that has any questions about the easement issue and parking issue with IBMS, I'm going to stay after church and answer as best I can. So if anybody's interested, please wait afterwards and we'll take care of that. All right, thank you.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Venice, known as UCOV. My name is Jan Simon, and I'm the worship associate for this morning's service. Today is Mother's Day, and Linda Susan Ulrich writes, "For all the mothers and mother figures, the grandmothers, aunts, and extended family members who mother, the soon-to-be mothers, the wish they were mothers, the never wanted to be mothers, the it's complicated mothers, the birth mothers, the foster mothers, adoptive mothers, stepmothers, the used to be dad mothers, and more than one mom mothers, the single mothers, the separated mothers, stay-at-home mothers, unhoused mothers, the grieving mothers, those who grieve their mothers, and those whose grief is complex. For all the communities that mother, and for all who depend on the great mother, you are held and beloved, and you are welcome here. If anyone is here for the first time and feels comfortable doing so, please raise your hand, and someone will bring you a microphone so that you can introduce yourself. Any visitors? Newcomers? It's summer. Summer is here. If anyone is leaving this week, would you like to raise your hand? All right. We can say goodbye to you. We will miss you.
Hey, Jan asked me where we're going.
Where are you going?
I always like to say this ever since I saw it on the Super Bowl. We're going to Disney World. We're taking our time going home, obviously. And we're going to Disney World and then see friends in North Carolina. And then we'll be in our lake house in beautiful Clear Lake, Indiana.
Wonderful.
Lisa and I are taking the auto train to Maryland on Tuesday.
Oh.
Even better than Disneyland. And also, we just celebrated our 14th wedding anniversary.
Oh, congratulations. Okay, can anyone top that? Oh, okay, Kim.
Matthew and I will be heading to Rhode Island either this Thursday or Friday. We bought a new Expedition in December, and it only has 1,500 miles on it because it's been a crazy winter. So we're going to break in the new Expedition. It's a big four-wheel drive, with our 2 cats in their cages, and we have to stay at pet-friendly hotels and carry them around and all their supplies. And then when we reach our destination, 95 Peninsula Road, it'll be our 30th summer. We've got quite a few friends here now that have visited our Rhode Island home. And we live on a little gravel, 1-car wide dirt lane that you have to pull on the neighbor's lawn to let the other car go by.
Well,
It's a different planet.
Enjoy. If you need to know how to smuggle a cat in a hotel, I can tell you. Okay, we are now entering, I'm sorry, a sacred space. So please silence all of your electronics that you might have with you here today. I'm so focused on this thing. We kindle this flame with love for mothers and for mothers past, present, and future. We kindle this flame in celebration of community and its generations. We kindle this flame with respect and support for the greater circle of life of which we are all part. Lisa's.
You know, I've been to more than one Mother's Day service that was absolutely without thought. It was about as deep as a street puddle, and it celebrated motherhood like we were in a 1950s sitcom. A friend told me last year that she was also tired of services that tried so hard to be inclusive. that just plain old moms, as she put it, ended up feeling like a terrible afterthought. And I don't want to drag you all through my own shallow puddle today. I don't want to spend an hour together explaining once again the history of Mother's Day and reminding you to call Mom tonight or waiting for your kids to call you. We're going in a little different direction this morning. The job of a mother is to help a child find both roots and wings, and today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about mothers as sculptors, working with beautiful raw marble and sometimes with a big lump of coal with a crack in it. So come and let us celebrate and worship here together. We're going to start off with our gathering hymn, number 346. Come sing a song with me, verses 1, 2, and 4. So please stand as you are willing and able and join in our first hymn, number 346. Come sing a song with me. This is the time in our service when we do our offering, and we always do it with a joke because giving should not be painful. One of the biggest offerings our mothers gave us was wisdom. Here are 11 pieces of wisdom from our mothers. My mother taught me to appreciate a job well done. If you are going to kill each other, do it outside. I just finished cleaning. My mother taught me about religion. You better pray that comes out of the carpet. My mother taught me about time travel. If you don't straighten up, I'm going to knock you into the middle of next week. My mother taught me about logic. If you fall out of that swing and break your neck, you are not going to the store with me. My mother taught me irony, and I bet you could all finish this one. Keep crying, and I'll... My mother taught me about the science of osmosis. Shut your mouth and eat your supper. My mother taught me about the circle of life. I brought you into this world and I will take you out. My mother taught me ESP. Put your sweater on. Don't you think I know when you're cold? And my mother taught me about humor. When the lawnmower cuts off your toes, don't come running to me. And my very favorite, my mother taught me about justice. One day you'll have kids, and I hope they turn out just like you. Now, your mom isn't here to make you put your quarter in the offering plate, but she's watching. The morning offering will now be given and gratefully received. thank you all so much, not just for these gifts, but for everything you do for the life and the work of this community. Because it's as a community of human hands and human hearts that we come together here to witness and minister to one another as we struggle with life's sorrows and celebrate life's joys. So if you have a joy or a sorrow, please raise a hand. And who do we got? Marcia and Jean will bring you a microphone.
Hello, I am so happy to be out of the hospital. I am not back to walking 2 miles a day yet. I am 1 mile a day, and I will be up to 2 soon. So that's my celebration.
I'm Marilyn Amick, and last Saturday we had a memorial service for Grace. I made a page for her. Oh wait, it's there. We found it. Okay, thank you very much.
They found it.
It was missing, and I was sort of wondering if anybody still had it. So, thank you.
We probably need your help to get it back in the book. I couldn't get it back in this morning.
Good morning. Reverend Amy made a reference to the history of Mother's Day, which I didn't know, but a friend sent me a text, which I will present very abbreviated fashion. It was a daughter of a woman who raised a family in Appalachia in the 1800s, and the circumstance was that she had certainly over 10 children. Most of them died from childhood diseases, but her mother was a very selfless person within the community, and as the war occurred, she treated both Union and Southern soldiers in their medical needs without any kind of discrimination. And the daughter, at the time her mother died, I think in 1908, felt there needed to be some marker for all mothers.
Hi, I'm Trudy Jacoby, and I'm very happy to have my sister Ingrid from Massachusetts visiting me this week, especially since we have been remembering our sister Karen, who died about a year ago. So it's been wonderful having her here. Hi, I'm Barb Gundy. I told you about my niece is pregnant and going to have a little girl in October, and then we found out her brother is also, well, he's not pregnant, but his girlfriend is pregnant, and she is also due in October, so 2 great nieces in October.
And I lit a candle for my late ex-husband who passed away 3 years ago today, and my son John, who passed away 3 years ago in 9 more days. May the love of this community hold all who need love and concern, and may the light of our community shine on the broken places of the world. May we never look away when we're needed. May those who are grieving be comforted, and those who are tired find rest. May the broken places be healed, and may those who are filled with joy and laughter be abundant.
Our first reading, The Secret to Becoming Who You've Always Wanted to Be, Part 1, by Dr. Kelly Flanagan. I once knew an artist who told me about a sculpture he wanted to carve out of wood. He said he had a vision for it in his mind's eye. Then a week passed, and then 2, and then 3. I assumed he was procrastinating. When I asked him about it, he smiled and said, "Kelly, I can't create what I want to create in just any block of wood. Every piece of wood has different grains and different textures. If you carve against the grain, try to force it into something it is not, you will crack the wood and ruin the sculpture. The shape of any creation is already in the wood. I just help it to become the shape that it already is. It's true of wood, and it's true of people. You already are what you are becoming. It's not a new idea. As someone once said, all wisdom is borrowed. But it was new to me when I first encountered it in Life of the Beloved by Henry Nouwen, where the spiritual guide writes, I can only look for something that I have to some degree already found. How can I search for beauty and truth unless that beauty and truth are already known to me in the depth of my heart? We were innocent before we started feeling guilty. We were in the light before we entered into the darkness. We were at home before we started to search for a home. Deep in the recesses of our minds and hearts, there lies hidden the treasure we seek. It was the most transformative idea I'd ever encountered. I looked inside of myself and I looked around, and I saw that we all long to do something good that will prove that we're good enough. We long to be loved by someone who will make us feel lovable. We long to create something out in the world that will create a worthy identity inside of us. But we already are that which we long to become. We already are our own unique version of good enough, lovable, and worthy. Our meditation is from The Water Giver, the story of a mother, a son, and their second chance by Joan Ryan. Motherhood is about raising and celebrating the child you have, not the child you thought you would have. Holding these words in mind, please join me in 1 minute of silent thought, meditation, or prayer. And now Lisa will play the interlude for us. Our second reading is The Secret to Becoming Who You've Always Wanted to Be, Part 2, by Dr. Kelly Flanagan. Life isn't about identity formation, it's about identity recognition. Being human isn't about finding an existence worth living. It's about finding out how to live from the worthiness already existing within us. You don't build what you are. You chip away at what you are not. We are each of us like blocks of wood, and becoming our true selves is the gradual process of carving away the excess and steadily becoming more and more the shape of what we really are. We spend too much time trying to carve against the grain of who we are, a kind of ongoing self-rejection, a way of stubbornly insisting we aren't good enough and we need to become something different. Discovering our true selves begins by trusting there is a shape buried within us, and it is already good enough, lovable, and worthy. Several weeks after I asked my artist friend about his delay, I spoke with him again, and he was giddy with excitement. He told me he'd found what he thought was the right piece of wood, and he'd begun his work. He was thrilled because he was about to watch the beauty emerge. And his happiness was grace, because grace is the delight that happens when someone or someone sees us and sees the beautiful shape already residing somewhere within us. Grace doesn't necessarily change anything about us. It simply sees who we've already been. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing number 409, Sleep, My Child.
When I was a kid, some well-intentioned adult gave me a toy called the Mattel Creepy Crawlers Bug Maker. Some of you may have bought that same toy for your kids, and the toy lets you take bottles of only slightly toxic goo and pour them into molds to produce supposedly educational but definitely disgusting bugs, or at least bug-like critters. And I loved it. It was awesome. I could mold them however I liked, make new molds, block off parts of the molds. I was the goo bug god. And unfortunately for some people and some religions, this type of goo molding is claimed as the job of a mother. You, the parent, are supposed to take your little newborn blob or blobette, no other options are available, and force them into molds labeled boy or girl, and then when that's done, you get to pick other molds to jam them into while they're still a little soft and squishy. Well-behaved comes first. Then you can pick things like athlete, scholar, princess, or geek. Later molds come attached to job descriptions: doctor, lawyer, auto mechanic. And mothers get told that if their child doesn't fit the mold, it's terrible, and somehow it's also mom's fault. When I was looking up references for this sermon, I found over 50,000 websites that had articles talking about how it is a parent, and more specifically a mother's job, to mold the life of their child. And many of the religious sites had absolutely no concern for what the child was inherently designed as. Just take your little putty ball and shape away. Church and Family Life Resources writer Brandon Scoggins wrote an article called "The Impact of Godly Mothers on Their Children." He said, "The central aspect of a mother, through the daily life of her children, she impresses Christ on their soul. She's impressing Christ on their souls through all the normal daily activities, and when they're learning, they learn to fear God through just the daily things they're doing. And they're learning that everything they do is for the glory of God, and they're learning how to live under authority." Wow. Not one word about the nature of the child or the nature of the mother. But I've got news for all of you, especially for the moms and the mamas and everyone who loved a child into being and tried to do the best they could. Your job is not and was not and never will be to mold a child into some predetermined image. My favorite writer, Terry Pratchett, was talking about a private school in one of his books, and he said, "They're designed to turn boys into men, and that the school tolerates a certain wastage in this process." This unfortunately holds true when you're trying to mold children at home. There will always be those who do not fit. But the important bit is that unlike Pratchett's school, we don't want to throw them away. Joan Ryan wrote, "Motherhood is about raising and celebrating the child you have, not the child you thought you would have. A mother is not a goo mold maker. A mother is a shaper of possibilities, balancing stability and the freedom to give a child both roots and wings. Nurturing and protecting and guiding a child, those are all so important. But there is a deeper, more transformative role that a mother plays in the life of their child, the role of a sculptor. A mother doesn't mold her child into some predetermined shape. Instead, she helps them to see the vast possibilities that life offers, guiding them as they carve away and refine the pieces of their sculpture which do not work. A mother sees beyond the rough edges and can envision the masterpiece trapped inside the raw stone. Michelangelo was the one who famously said, "The sculpture is already complete within the marble block before I start my work. It is already there. I just have to chisel away the superfluous material." And later he said, "I saw the angel in the marble, and I carved until I set him free." A mother is not a potter. It isn't her job to take a raw block of clay and slap it and spin it and press it until it forms a usable shape. Pottery, which may be beautiful or even elevated to art, is made for a specific use. And it works well only for that use. A coffee mug, a plate, an art piece. Pottery is only made to serve. But a mother is a sculptor of possibility. A sculptor doesn't impose a form on the marble. Instead, they work with the marble's natural qualities, enhancing its beauty, bringing out its best features. Similarly, a mother's role is to see the amazing human trapped in the body of that screaming, vomiting toddler or sullen teenager made out of knees and elbows and body odor, while grounding that child in the love of family and the stability and safety of home. Is it easy? Oh, Lord, no. For some days, a mother is a hero. Other days, her children believe she is the worst villain the earth has ever seen. Seeing the potential means also seeing the places where the stone is weak or chipped or needs to be carved away. Irma Bombeck said, "Someday when my children are old enough to understand the logic that motivates a mother, I'll tell them, I loved you enough to bug you about where you were going, with who, and what time you'd get home. I loved you enough to be silent and let you discover your hand-picked friend was a creep. I loved you enough to make you return that Milky Way with a bite out of it to the drugstore and confess, I stole this. I loved you enough to stand over you for 2 hours while you cleaned your bedroom, a job that would have taken me 15 minutes. I loved you enough not to make excuses for your lack of respect or bad manners, to ignore what every other mother did, to figure out you would lie about the party being chaperoned, but to forgive you for it after I proved I was right. I loved you enough to let you stumble and fall and fail so that you could learn to stand alone. I loved you enough to accept you for who you are, not for who I wanted you to be. But most of all, I loved you enough to say no when you hated me for it. That was the hardest part of all. Mothers teach us to see ourselves as they see us. Even if we are still an unfinished work of art, they see what we could be. And they begin the process of carving away the excess raw material, freeing the wings trapped in stone, one feather at a time, teaching us bravery and honesty, pride, compassion, how to fly and how to fail and how to get up again, and eventually our wings are free. They've helped us through the trials of adolescence and the pain of our first real losses, maybe through sickness or heartbreak, maybe through joy. But even when the sculpture is fully formed, they don't just quit. For the rest of our lives, they smooth and polish. They let us see them go before us into life, meeting it with success and failure and continuing to go forward, holding our roots, pushing us to fly with those wings they help to free. Are all mothers good at being sculptors? Oh my gosh, no. No, they're not. Some never learned how to use the tools. Some have no tools at all, and some were so afraid of making a mistake and marring the stone that they never began. Some were so clumsy that they shattered the stone that they had been given. And some just sold their tools and ran away. But no matter how skilled, how present, how absent, how kind or cruel, they are our mothers. And today is the day set aside to celebrate them all. The mothers and stepmothers, the grandmothers raising babies, the mamas and mas raising other people's children, the foster mothers, the older sisters who never got a chance to be mothered because they were busy raising the kids. Some of our mothers weren't good at it. Some of them were excellent and some of them were terrible. Some of us were terrible. But now we are the people we were raised to be, and some of us grew up in wonderful, healthy relationships. We accepted our parents' words and worlds and values and choices, and we became the wonderful people they raised us to be. Some of us rejected our mothering and went in other directions, and we also became who we were raised to be. Safe or unsafe, loving or cold, our lives are intimately intertwined with those who mothered us or didn't. We are the living sculptures freed by their hands, and we are here. We made it this far. You have a 100% track record of making it to this point. Moms, your kids made it. On this day and every day, we want to thank those who mothered us. Whether they are here with us or gone ahead into mystery, warm and safe and kept close by, or dangerous and distant by choice, good or bad or in between. St. Francis said, "Preach always, use words only when necessary." Quaker author Parker Palmer said we should let our lives speak. We are the sermons our mothers preached. We are the angels they carved in stone with competent or with shaking hands. We have our wings, and we are beautiful. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. I hope you have a marvelous day. Amen. May our lives be a chalice pregnant with light and warmth, and may we birth that light into the world each and every day. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing our closing hymn this week, number 131, Love Will Guide Us. Blessing to all of the mothers and others who carved and shaped us and brought us to this day. Peace, ashe, and may it be so.